2011 was a kind of a special day for me, because on that day the very first live Prog festival was held at Lakai in Helmond. And on that festival 3 great bands performed for a really enthusiastic crowd, and well, it was a real party. One of the bands that played there I was really looking forward to. This was Mindgames, a band from Belgium, and definitely one of the best progressive or neo-progressive bands from that small country. Now, I know Mindgames already for many years, because in 2004 I reviewed their first release called International Daylight. That album was already released in 2002. I found out about them a few years later, still got to do the review, and I gotta say that album really impressed me. Really beautiful music and a real pleasure to listen to. So I kind of lost track of them, but that album always stayed close with me. Now, of course, we take a really giant leap into the future. We come in 2011, and well, not only did I get to reconnect with the band's music, I also got to meet the band, and they turned out to be really great guys. So, a beautiful evening, and well, they don't play much, especially they don't play much in Holland, so I was, I got the idea to present them to you, because there may be a lot of people who are not familiar with Mindgames, or maybe not familiar with all the albums of Mindgames. Now, I mentioned International Daylight, so let's listen to it then. A little piece of the song Dreaming the Circus. As I said, International Daylight, that is this one, was released in 2002 already. So, well, about 9 years ago. So, I gotta say, when you listen to the album, it sounds a little bit dated. Nevertheless, it still sounds beautiful. When I play this album, I really enjoy it. I love it, and I like to play it, well, quite a bit. Now, I said I kind of lost track and reconnected with the band June of this year, and I got a chance to see them live on stage, and I gotta say they were awesome on stage. Great musicians, a real good stage presence, well, they played very well, and frontman Bart Schram really has a knack for theatrics, because in one of the songs from an album the band themselves consider to be their best work, called Actors in a Play, he even dressed up and, well, walked around the crowd, and, well, all in the vein of the song, which was very interesting to see. And I'm sure he will do that more if he get the chance to perform more often, well, hopefully in Holland. Now, as I said, I want to introduce Mindgames to you. Now, I showed you this one, of course, International Daylight. Then we have, in 2006, they released this album called Actors in a Play, and so far the band themselves view this as their, well, best work. And then, very recently, 2010, the band released MMX. And this is their third and, well, latest album to date. They have a very steady lineup. I noticed that with MMX they had a new bass player, but apart from that the band is still the same. They really have grown. Now, let's move on to Actors in a Play, because I can talk, well, a long time, but you want to hear some music, and of course I can imagine, because I want to play you some music because I really like it, and I find it very hard to pick out songs that really represent how Mindgames is, because, well, they are all very beautiful and they all have their own charm. A song that I really enjoyed on Actors in a Play is The Statue, and especially because of a little instrumental part in this, so you can hear how good these musicians are. So, from Actors in a Play, listen to The Statue. You can hear in this that the band has grown. The sound is, of course, it's better, the production is better, but also in songwriting, in musician, they move on, you know, they improve themselves, and they even make much finer, sophisticated progressive rock. I really like that they have attention for details in the music, and that is very evident when you listen to the album. Well, it's a bit of neo-prog, but, well, who cares? It's really good stuff, definitely. When they said that they thought Actors in a Play was their best work, I was very curious, of course, and I gotta say it is a delicious album to listen to. I'm really excited about it. Nevertheless, we'll get to that later, but I am really impressed with MMX as well. So I say they, from International Daylight, they kept the line up and going up, you know, constantly bringing better music, improving themselves as musicians. Now, you heard an instrumental piece, you heard how good these musicians are. Let's go back to the singer, Bart Schram, because I absolutely love him as a vocalist. He has a very pleasant voice to listen to. He doesn't have a voice that reminds me of anyone else, like Peter Gabriel or Fish. No, he has a voice of his own, and that's one of the very strong points of Mindgames, you know, that they have a very good singer who also has a very good stage presence. Again, the hard choice of what song to pick. I'm going for the last track on this album, which is called Both Sides of the Show.
The lights fade out, the curtain close. High hopes are focused on a play to come alive. Sit back and enjoy, silence required. Tension is brewing in the air. The director's here, the props all around. Playwrights did the best they could to formulate the rimming words to hear, triggering your fear. Spectators, hold your breath. Open the gates for the other world to see. The writer's fantasy supposed to be our destiny. Right from the start, your walk on board is planned down to last detail. Into the light, where the leading knight appear, you suddenly realize you are conditioned to revere.
I hope you like what you hear so far about Mindgames. You know, we covered the first two albums, International Daylight and Actors in a Play. Now, you can very well hear the progression that the band made from International Daylight to Actors in a Play. Now, from Actors in a Play to MMX, the differences are not as obvious. They are more subtle. Of course, with Actors in a Play, I'm not sure if it is, but I get the impression that it's a bit of a concept album. With MMX, I think it's not really a concept album, but it is a very beautiful album. I'll bring it a little close. Now, put them away. This is the first album that comes as a digipack. Well, here we have the band. You can bring them a little closer. Yeah. can see them. The bass player is a new addition to the band. Very good job, especially on stage. Very good job. Well, here we have the full, you know. I like the artwork, you know, very appealing, very beautiful. But the same goes for the music. I think the differences between Actors in a Play and MMX is that the guitar is moved up a little bit, you know, it's a little more edge on it, very nice. From the start of the album that is evident, so listen to the first track of the album called The Source. While International Daylight and MMX were jewel cases with a nice booklet with information on the lyrics, the story, the band and everything, MMX doesn't have a booklet. All the information they give is on this page. So that's basically it. I wish they had included lyrics. Would have been interesting, you know, to read what they sing about, what's on their mind. Nevertheless, the music is really good, and this is definitely one of the better albums from 2010. It's very melodic. I like the guitars. They have a nice edge to them, but they moved up again. They're not repeating themselves, although the style hasn't changed much. But I think you can, well, you can hear that it is a different album, especially because, well, mainly of course of the guitars. I mean, the keyboard plays are still beautiful. The rhythm section is still very strong, very solid. Well, and of course Bart Schram, he remains a very constant factor with his beautiful vocals, and I hope that keeps this way because, well, he is just a great singer to listen to. So, one more piece of music for you, and then, well, we're going to end this. I hope you enjoyed Mindgames. I hope you enjoyed the albums. If you're not familiar with them, really check them out, and, well, start with Actors in a Play. Definitely start with Actors in a Play, MMX, and if you really like them, get International Daylight if it is still available, because it is still, despite the fact that it's a couple of years old, still a very beautiful album. It was my first, well, connection to Mindgames, and I still cherish that album for that. But I love Actors in a Play, and I love MMX for the more, well, modern sound, the more melodic, edgy guitars, keyboards in it, whatever. So enjoy Mindgames. Check out their website, mindgames.be. Remember, they're from Belgium, and they really want to play. So if you see this, if you have a venue and you say, hey, this is a great band, contact them, offer them a stage, because they sound incredible live on stage. So enjoy the final track of MMX called The Pendulum. Thank you for watching Live Prog. Well, thank you for watching this little special on Mindgames, and, well, I'll be back with more great reviews on liveprog.com.
It's impossible to state that these things have to be the same. But to recognize the difference, we have to consider them as equal.